Hello friends, hello and welcome back to our little coffee club. Today is gonna be an exciting one. Today's gonna be a little bit different. Man, finally the espresso machine has arrived. I'm gonna record a little unboxing for you guys. So if all you wanna see is the unboxing of this video, you ran into this video and all you wanna see is the unboxing, I'm going to put a timestamp right here on the video. So if that's all you wanna see, go to the timestamp and that's when the actual unboxing is gonna start. But like I promised you guys, and I know that a lot of you guys that are watching this video here, I don't have that many followers, but you guys are really interested in the coffee itself. You guys are coffee hobbyists and you guys want to always see something that has to do with actual coffee brewing. So today, as promised, I'm going to brew on the Moka Pot. So we're gonna make coffee on the Moka Pot for the first time on the channel. It's one of the most popular ways of making coffee in the entire world. We're gonna use a coffee from a company that's been around for over 100 years making coffee, so they know a thing or two about coffee. The Lavazza Rossa was recommended to me when I did my comparison of the store-bought coffees, and we compared a bunch of coffees based on the James Hoffman video where he compared like 40. I chose the top 4 that or what he claimed to be the top 4. I chose those and I compared them myself. Now, in one of those 4 was my favorite store-bought coffee, ended up being in the final 4. And I did my own review on that as well, and we did a couple videos based on that. I'll put the thumbnail to the very first video that I did comparing the coffees. I'll put it here, so in case you guys want to watch that. But okay, so then, I ended up buying this coffee because it was recommended to me. We made it as espresso. As espresso, it's, like a traditional Italian roast. It's somewhere, medium to dark. It's not extremely dark though. And it gives you something, very traditional. It gives you those chocolate notes, a little bit of caramel notes, a little bit of caramel as far as the aroma of the coffee. So I think for making milk-based drinks is excellent. And to make regular espresso, if you like that traditional style, it's gonna give you exactly what you're looking for. But a couple people left me comments as to making it in the Moka Pot. They say you should try this in the Moka Pot. So today we're gonna try it in the Moka Pot. Now, I did a little research. I thought I had never done research on the Moka Pot. When I used the Moka Pot before, first of all, I have never ground my own coffee for making coffee on the Moka Pot. I have bought like store-bought already pre-ground coffee, and that's what I've used in the Moka Pot, like pre-ground espresso. So I know that for the Moka Pot, you're supposed to grind coffee towards the coarser end of the espresso range. So today I'm gonna grind it on the niche because this is whole bean, so I'll have to grind it no matter what. So this is whole bean. I will grind it on the niche. The setting's gonna be 20. Okay, that's like way on the coarser end of espresso. I have, in some of the coffees that I've ground for making espresso on the brewing infuser, I have had to go down, up to maybe like 17. I've never been past 18 for sure. So I'm gonna grind at 20 and see how that works. Now, as far as the ratio, nobody left me a comment as to what ratio to use or anything like that. So the temperature on the Moka Pot, you don't really have to think about it too much. You just add water, put it on the stove, and the coffee will start eventually coming out through the top. And we'll record a little bit of that. And basically it's like a, self-contained kind of process. You don't have to do anything. All right, but I try to do a little research as to the ratio. Now, my understanding was that the ratio for a Moka Pot is somewhere around 1 to 6. But in the research that I did, they recommended somewhere double that, 1 to 12. So now I don't know exactly what ratio to use. So I'm going to grind. I know that this Moka Pot, first of all, the Moka Pots come in a lot of different sizes. And you're supposed to fill the water to just below the little pressure release valve here. So I measured the water. I waited to see how many grams of actual water was if you just filled it to right below the little valve there, and it turns out that is 220 grams of water. So that's just under 8 ounces of water. So then what I did is I filled these things, not all the way up, but to where you would normally fill a little cup like this. By the way, shout out to Anna. I know she doesn't watch my videos, but in case she runs into this one, she gave me this as a gift. Havana Nights. I kind of like it. So this is very traditional for like a Cuban way of making coffee. It's very common that they would do it on a Moka Pot. They use a ton of sugar in the coffee. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna brew it and see what it tastes like. So from the research I did, it was all over the place as to the ratio. If you guys know what ratio I should use, maybe I'll try it again another day at a different ratio. But for today, I decided to do a 1 to 10. So I'm gonna do 220 grams of water in the Moka Pot, and I'm gonna grind 22 grams of coffee. And what you do on the, well, if you're watching this video, you probably know all about the Moka Pot, so I don't have to tell you. But basically, what you're supposed to do, again, fill the water to like just, you know, right to this valve, and then fill the coffee grounds up to where it's flush here. You don't tamp the Moka Pot, you just kind of fill it. You can tap it down a little bit with your fingers if you want, and that's it, okay? You don't want it like really compact in there. This doesn't build a lot of pressure. That's why this is cannot be considered like actual espresso, because first of all, the Moka Pot, I think only builds pressure to like 1.5 bars, 2 bars at most, I think, and I don't even think it gets to 2 bars of pressure. So that's not in the espresso range. And another thing is that the coffee is more watered down. So obviously espresso, even a lungo, it's only, I think it's like a 1 to 4, 1 to 5 ratio at the most. I've never heard of espresso a 1 to 6 ratio. And today we're doing 1 to 10. So obviously that's also not in the espresso range. However, it will give you a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It'll give you a very concentrated drink. Okay, it is a very concentrated drink, but not quite like espresso. Also, the mouthfeel, it's not as thick and creamy like espresso, if that makes sense. So anyway, those of you that are familiar with both the Moka Pot and the espresso, like a regular espresso machine, then you know what I'm talking about. So, okay, so we're gonna dose out 22 grams. I'm gonna put 220 grams of water in the Moka Pot, and we're gonna see what happens. I've never done this process like this. I just fill the water. I don't weigh it or anything. I, fill the little filter with the coffee grounds and kind of tap it down a little bit, put it in there, and that's it. You don't have to think about it that much with a Moka Pot, okay? It's simple. That's why it's such a common brewing device all over the world. Now, a fun fact, as I did my little bit of research, it turns out, like I always thought the Moka Pot was something like really old, ancient. It turns out that the Moka Pot is not that old. There were lots of espresso machines before they even came up with the Moka Pot. So espresso is a lot older than the Moka Pot, in case you didn't know. So I thought that was a pretty interesting fun fact. Okay, so today we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna do the unboxing in a minute. I'm gonna put it all in the same video. Again, I gave you guys a timestamp. If all you wanna see is the unboxing, then go ahead, but it won't be much of an unboxing. I don't do unboxings and I don't know anything about that, but I will show you some pictures and some clips of how it is that it came. During this whole process, you're going to see also another little box, and I want people to guess what's inside the little box. I think if any of you take a guess at it, I'll get a chuckle if somebody gets it. But if you've been watching all the videos, you might have an idea what's in the little box. Now you gotta see how little is little. It's not tiny. So that'll give you some clues as to what could be in the little box. But we'll talk about it in another video. There's also a couple more little gadgets. I don't think I'll get into all those other couple little gadgets that I received that I want to show you guys. I think I won't get into all of that today, or the video is going to be a monstrosity, another 2-hour long video. Anyway, if you have never seen one of my videos, welcome to the club. I make kind of long videos. Sometimes they end up being like an hour long, so I do try to edit them and condense things to something reasonable, but sometimes it gets out of hand. So anyways, welcome. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I'll meet you guys over at the other counter, and let's grind some coffee for the Moka Pot and see what happens. All right, so without further ado, Lavazza Rossa on the Moka Pot. Oh, by the way, we have, because we're a team over here. So here in our little coffee club, we have one of our members, I think his name is Tony. If I got that wrong, I apologize. But again, I gotta see the names a few times before I start to really remember them. But I read each and every single message that I receive. I respond to everyone. So this is the perfect place to be if you want some engagement. Again, I think the name was Tony, but he keeps telling me to get the Lavazza in it's a different one. It's not the Rosa, it's a different one. And I am planning on doing that video for you. Hang in there. Right now I have so much coffee that I need to go through. You guys know that I don't waste anything. I can't, you know, wastage is just not for me. I don't feel comfortable just, you know, buying something and throwing it out or wasting money or resources that are so scarce in this world. So I'm just gonna say that. I just don't like wasting. So I will buy that one. As soon as this one runs out, I will buy that one. And basically whenever I've made a milk based drink and I haven't been recording, I've been using this all the time. So don't think it's gonna last forever. I mean, I'm gonna go through it. So hang in there. Anyway, Tony, hang in there. Welcome to the club. I appreciate your comments, and I'm glad that you've been watching. I think, as a matter of fact, I'm sorry, and I apologize if I'm completely wrong on this because he didn't say anything about that, but maybe he's Italian, and just by the way that the messages are being written, I would take a guess that maybe he's Italian and he knows a whole bunch about what he's talking about. So I definitely want to take his advice on this and try that other coffee and see that Lavazza, how good it is. So, but please, welcome to the club. Hang in there. I'll get around to making that video for you. Okay, so today, let's go ahead. First, I'm going to put 220 grams of water in the little reservoir there in the Moka Pot. So, oh, another thing is, I've been meaning to record a video talking about water. Water is super important when it comes to coffee. Obviously, coffee is mostly just water. So it's very important. I wanted to show you guys what it is that I do for the water that I use, and show you guys the whole thing. But I haven't gotten around to doing that either. So but we will. For now, I just keep my water in this bottle. I don't use this for drinking. It's just where I keep the water that I make, that I use every morning to brew in my kettle, and it's what I'm gonna use right now. I have another bigger bottle, which is the one I use for here. So the water in here is not this, okay? It's not this. It's my own water, and I'll show you guys my water solution in another video. But the one that I use for the kettle and I'm gonna use for the Moka Pot is not the same one that I put in my espresso machine. Okay, as far as taste, I'll be 100% honest with you, I can't taste the difference. But I did a blind taste test with my wife. She's an expert on water. She doesn't drink a lot of coffee. She doesn't hardly ever drink sodas, but she just basically concentrates on water. So she's the right person to ask that question. And she was able to pick it out. She could taste a little bit of not something that's gonna like, wow, there's a huge difference here. But there was a small difference, and it was a totally blind taste test that I did. So, and she was able to pick it out. I wasn't. I was all over the place, and I couldn't tell any difference as far as the water. They were both taste very clean and nice, but I couldn't taste the difference. So yeah, keep in mind, this is not what's the water that's in here, and we'll talk about water in another video. But for now, let's go ahead and do 220 grams of water in our little Moka Pot reservoir. Let me start it like this because I don't want to make a mess. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, 219.1. Okay, so 219.1, it's right at the valve. I could see it there, and I'm afraid if I try to put a little more, I'm gonna go over, so I'll just leave it 219.1. We're right, just like, actually we're already into the valve a little bit. I think maybe if you want it below the valve, you only be able to do maybe 200 grams of water. So at 220, I always fill it to like, kind of like where it is now, and it's saying 219. So that's why I was telling you guys 220. So we're gonna roll with that. Okay, and we're going to grind 22 grams of coffee and see what that looks like when I put it in here. Usually, I fill it till like it's all the way up, and then I tap it down a little bit. So we'll see if that's what happens if it's real low with 22 grams, which I have a feeling that's what's gonna end up happening. I think it's gonna be real low, and I'm gonna have to grind more. I don't know, let's see. This is an experiment, first time I'm doing it, grinding the coffee myself, so we'll see what happens. But I know I have the right amount of water. I'm right at the valve, and that's how you're supposed to fill it. So let's go ahead and grind 22 grams and see what happens. Of course, I'm gonna check retention for you guys. Everyone's favorite part of the video. Okay, 21.3. It's bouncing between 21.9 and 22. So that's what I'm gonna grind. Let's see what we get out of the niche today. Okay, so again, I set the niche at 20. So it's a little bit, obviously towards the coarser end of espresso, but it's still in the espresso range. We got the last few beans trying to get out of there. All right, let's check retention. Okay, we put 21.9 and we got 21.9. Exactly what we put in is what we got out. So let's see, I wonder if that's gonna fill this up. That's the big question right now. All right, so let's see how this works out. I wonder if this, no. Well, it's pretty much flush there. I'm afraid if I turn it around, I'm gonna make a mess. Should we use a spoon? I think I better use a spoon. Okay, so we can put this in here now. Okay, let me get a spoon. Okay, we have our 22 grams. The big question, is it gonna fill this up? You know, by looking at it, I don't know, but just by looking at it, it looks like a little bit coarser than what I normally put in the Moka Pot. You know, what I usually make it in the Moka Pot is like Cuban style coffee. Sometimes you get a family member, someone visits you, they want like regular, like what they're used to at home. And a lot of people use the Moka Pot. And that's why I buy the pre-ground coffee, just a regular brand that everybody uses in their house. Something like Bustelo or something like that. And it's a really dark roast. This is nowhere near, this is way lighter. The Bustelo, something like that's gonna be like way more bitter, darker roast. And then like Cuban style, they always put like tons of sugar. I'm not gonna put any sugar in this, but yeah, they put a lot of sugar in the coffee. You know, I'm gonna have to like, I'm making a mess first of all, as I tell you guys this story. But I made a how to make Cuban coffee video already on my channel. You can find it in there. I have modified a lot of things since that video. That video is really old. But you know, with time, my channel just became like a coffee channel. So moving forward, this channel is gonna be all coffee. I might actually do another YouTube channel to keep doing some of the other things I enjoy doing. If you look through my video, you'll see there's a lot of like fitness related videos. There's food reviews from around town. So I have been putting a lot of my videos on something called Newsbreak. It's an app, but being that Newsbreak is mostly, you know, obviously news, but it's something where you gotta look into it, see. But I've been doing a lot of food reviews for Newsbreak. But here on YouTube, we're just gonna keep it coffee. I really like engaging with you guys, and you know, I think we found something here that we can all enjoy together. I really enjoy it, and I like the engagement that you guys are enjoying these videos, and then we're building our own little family here. Okay, you know, I've had to kind of like press it down a little bit more than I'm used to get my 22 grams in there. I've made a little bit of a mess in the meantime. We're gonna roll with it, guys. It is what it is today. Okay, it's not like I'm packing it hard, okay? I'm just tapping it down a little bit. Okay, now one thing I do know is that my little tamper, the one from the Brevo infuser, fits perfectly this thing. Not perfectly, but almost. So I do like to, I'm not pressing it, I'm just kind of leveling things. Make sure it's the same everywhere. You know, maybe we should have done, well, I don't want to make even more of a mess, but I wonder how it goes with the WDT. I never done WDT for the Moka Pot. You guys let me know, have you guys ever tried doing WDT for the Moka Pot? I'm curious. Okay, so I don't know, this seems to have worked just right. So maybe a 1 to 10 ratio, maybe that's where it's at. We'll see the flavor's the main thing. Obviously this is gonna taste different than what I usually get from the Moka Pot, because it's always like a lot darker roast, you know? But we're locked and loaded. We gotta go to the stove today, so I'll see you guys over there. All right, so usually on the Moka Pot, I just put the stove as hot as it goes on 10. And as you saw, I start with water. That water, I don't keep it in the refrigerator. I go through that water. I mean, that's what I use every morning. So that water is just room temperature. So I use room temperature water. I put the stove as hot as it goes. You just wait until it starts to brew. Now, one thing I do like to do is lift it. I will lift the Moka Pot as it's brewing. So kind of like to control the flow. Okay, if that makes sense. If you leave it here, it's gonna like pretty fast just to start, gushing out like out of control kind of thing. So if you want to kind of control the flow and have the process of brewing longer, I think you get a better extraction like that. What I do, I just lift it. I lift it. As soon as it starts to come out, you lift it a little bit, and then you set it back down for a second or two, and you lift it again, and kind of control the flow in the beginning. Then at the end, I close this and I just let it until I start hearing like the spurring sound that it makes at the end. And then I take it off the heat. And that's it. You're done with your brew. When I make like Cuban style coffee, then you put sugar in here and then you kind of stir it up as it's coming out. Or you can get the other little kind of pot and try to make the foam with the sugar. So one of the two. You can go either way. But today, I'm gonna obviously taste it. This is my first time trying coffee from the Moka Pot like this, with no sugar, with nothing. So we'll see how that goes. And I've gotten used to the taste of espresso just with no, I never put sugar in my espresso now, never. As a matter of fact, drip coffee, I don't use sugar in any coffee nowadays. When I make milk-based drinks, I do put 1 teaspoon of sugar in my carafe, and as I steam the milk. So, I might do that today. I'll try it. Maybe have one little cup of this, let's call it Moka Pot espresso. And then maybe with another little bit, I'll make a cappuccino. So let's see how this goes. Now, it takes a little while for it to start brewing, as you could see. I've been standing here already for a few minutes. You don't want to walk away. Oh, never walk away from your Moka Pot, because you might forget that it's open and it's gonna be a mess. Even if you leave it closed, just don't do it. Don't do it. All right, guys, so that's the setup right there that you see right here. I have my phone ready so that when it starts to brew, I can get a nice close-up for you guys. I know that it does really look really cool when it starts to brew. So I'll get a shot with my phone. Another thing, I think I mentioned in the beginning, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'll say it again. The Moka Pot was invented by Lelit, and as I did this company here, and a fun fact was that, when I found out that the Moka Pot is a way newer device than espresso. Espresso's been around a lot longer, so I thought that was really cool. So, okay, I'll get a nice close-up of you guys as the coffee starts to come out. All right, we have begun the brewing process. So then what I do, I lift it off the heat, and I wait a couple seconds. I put it back again, Now, do you really need to do that? You know, I don't know. If you want to extend the brewing process and kind of control the flow, you kind of do. But is it necessary? Probably not. My standard answer always. I gotta say, I'm not getting a lot of crema today. Again, for it being like actual crema, it needs to be, I think it needs to be under pressure. Okay, now it's about to go crazy. So I'm gonna take it off the heat, give it a few seconds here. I don't want it to get like super hot. And I'm trying to get this for you guys with the phone. I hope it's coming out okay. I just got a new phone. First time I ever shoot video on it. I have a feeling it's gonna be very good quality though. So we'll see when this video gets edited. But okay, so now I'm gonna close it, put it back on the heat until it starts to do the little, you know, you'll hear the sound in a minute. That sound. Okay, so I took it off the heat and it's still doing its thing there. You can hear the little bit of sound. Now, some people, what they do, they put it under cold water right away because they want to cool it down right away. They say the coffee gets bitter if you don't. I've never noticed that, and I'm not about to experiment with that today. So, I mean, it did the little sound for a little bit. It's not like it's, you know, I don't think it's, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll experiment further on the Moka Pot. You guys tell me. You let me know. Anyway, there you see the setup. The coffee machine is ready back there in case we're gonna steam some milk, which I think I will. Let's see, did it stop? Oh boy, that's really hot. Okay, it's still doing the bubbling thing there, a little bit, very little. Let's serve some up and give it a taste test, and then I'll steam some milk and make a cappuccino with it. And then right after that, we'll do the unboxing. If you hung out with me this whole time, thank you. I appreciate that. But you know, if not, then the unboxing will be coming up in a couple minutes. All right, so coffee had a chance to cool for a couple minutes. Let's serve a little bit up. Yes, definitely looks lighter than what I'm used to getting from the Moka Pot, again, because I always use those really like dark roasts that is used in the Cuban community for making Cuban style coffee. Cheers. Well, it's still quite hot. From the little bit that I got, initial side, is that definitely it's different than espresso. It doesn't have the mouthfeel, doesn't have the thickness. It's not as concentrated, obviously. Okay, so as far as flavor, I mean, again, it's quite hot, but we'll let it cool and get back to it. But it's pretty nice. Anyway, I gotta let it cool. I gotta switch the battery on the camera because it's about to die, and then I'll get back with you guys in a second. All right, we have a new battery in the camera and the coffee has had a chance to cool a little bit. Let's give it another taste test. Okay, now I can really taste it. Well, what do I say? Okay, it's definitely not as good as when you make it on the espresso machine. It's totally different. You lose that thickness, the gooiness of it, that part of espresso making, you lose that. Flavor wise, it's nice. It's good. I mean, it's good, but if you have an espresso machine, I'm not sure why you would prefer to do this. Again, for pour overs, which is totally different. A pour over is nothing like this. This is way better than when I tried it as pour over. As pour over, I didn't like it at all. Okay, if I didn't have the espresso machine, then making this on the Moka Pot would be perfect. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But since I do have one, I don't see why I would choose this over the making like actual espresso with it, which I like a lot more. So, but it's good coffee. Definitely way better than the pour over, way better. But not as good as the espresso. So, yeah, I wouldn't put it somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't say somewhere between espresso and pour over. No, it's way closer to the espresso than the pour over. Because as pour over, it was not good, not good. As espresso, it's good if you like traditional, you know, that traditional taste of espresso. That's what it's gonna give you. And to mix with milk is excellent. I love it with milk. And you know, in the Moka Pot, it's very good. It's very good, but not as good as the espresso. Let's just say that. So right now I'm gonna go ahead, put some into our little cup to make a cappuccino. We're gonna steam some milk and put a cappuccino together. I'll see you guys back here in a couple of seconds, and then we'll do the unboxing.
I can't believe what I found when I let a little piece of you into.
All right, so latte art was a little lacking, a little bit sloppy, but hey, we got something. You know, since it's not as concentrated as regular espresso, it's like looks lighter in color, and I can't taste it as much. I'm gonna add some more coffee here. I have to say, I was ready for my afternoon brew, so I'm happy to have this. Cheers! I hope you guys are brewing something tasty. Oh yeah. Is it as good as when we make like regular espresso on the machine? No, not as good, but close enough. If you don't have the option, the Moka Pot gets you in the ballpark for way cheaper. Okay, so in a second we're gonna unbox the Lelit Bianca. I've had it here for a whole week, because it came on a Monday. I was supposed to have received it that weekend when I was recording. You guys saw that I didn't receive it. It came in on Monday, like way at the end of the day. It was like 5 p.m. They finally dropped off the box. And man, I have to say, it's been a little bit painful waiting a whole week without opening the box and looking inside. But I did it for you guys, okay? I did it for you guys. I want you guys to comment as to the little box, what you think is in the little box. We'll get to that on a later video. And then there's a couple little, I got a dosing funnel, I got because now obviously this is gonna be 58 millimeter. It's one of the pluses. I'm getting a proper espresso machine, something more prosumer level. And for me, this is an end game machine. There's no need for anybody to get something more than a Lelit Bianca. Okay, this is the version 3 in white. When I saw it come out in white, I said, wow, that matches my setup perfectly. That's gonna be perfect. That's the one I want. And you know, being that it's a dual boiler with a rotary pump, with flow control, I mean, it has everything that you want to make like really good high-end espresso. So now we're gonna have a 58 millimeter. So the portafilter, 58 millimeter. It comes with a bottomless. I don't see myself using that a whole bunch, because you guys know how I don't like a mess, and I don't want a bunch of some channeling. You know, channeling is unavoidable. You know, you might not see it, but it's there. But when you get that one that you could see, that's horrible, because it makes a mess, and I don't want that to be happening. So, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. All right, I'm not gonna chit chat right here any longer because I don't wanna have to edit a 2-hour long video. The unboxing is gonna be very short. I mean, I'm just gonna show you guys everything that comes in the box and open it up and so you guys could see. So it's on the floor, by the way. You won't see it up here on the counter because, oh, be aware. If you order this thing, I think the box weighs like, I don't know, 70 pounds. It's really heavy. I imagine once I take all the things out and just leave the espresso machine, I think the espresso machine is supposed to be like 50 pounds. So you know, I don't know. Next time you're gonna see it up on the counter in place of my little trusted Brevo infuser that I've been using for all these years. I'm not getting rid of it. That will still be around, and maybe one day I'll have somewhere to put it, like I have another dedicated area for espresso, so I could have one machine in one area and another one in another area, and I can make videos comparing and all that kind of good stuff. For now, we'll make some comparison videos, but believe me, I don't anticipate being able to like easily tell the flavor between one machine and the other one. That's not the reason why we do this, why we get equipment. And you know, I had a friend ask me like, and I keep blabbling on and this is gonna get long, but I had a friend ask me like, well, if it's not gonna be like a drastic change on the espresso, why get the machine? So I asked him, hey, didn't you change the rims on your car? Oh yeah, I got the new, oh, okay, do they roll different? The other ones didn't roll? They stopped working? The same thing why we do upgrades, right? It's just something you want to tinker with, something that you like seeing there on your brew bar. It's fun, and you know, it's what we do, right? So the same way that you do upgrades to your car, even if it's not something you need, it's just something you want and you like to look at it or whatever it is, same thing. So then once I told them, then it was like, yeah, I guess I get it. All right, so anyway, I'll see you guys over there by the area where I have the Bianca. We'll unbox it in a second. All right, before we get into the unboxing, the box is right behind me here on the floor. Before we get into the unboxing, I wanted to be clear as to the coffee and the Moka Pot. So if you're used to brewing like the traditional kind of Cuban roast coffee on a Moka Pot and you find it to be almost undrinkable unless you put sugar in it, then maybe you should try brewing something like this. So the Lavazza Rossa, it's not even close to as dark. So the coffee was not bitter at all. It was very well balanced. It had some sweetness to it. Tiny little bit of acidity, but you know, nothing like a light roast. But it still had like a tiny little bit of acidity there, very pleasant, a lot of sweetness to it. Very well balanced and very drinkable. It just didn't have the mouthfeel and the thickness of like a nice espresso shot. To mix with milk, it works very well. Now I gotta say that regular straight espresso, mix it with milk, it's better. It's better. And just flavor wise, if you're on the fence between like just sticking with your Moka Pot or getting like a proper espresso machine, you know, don't think about it any further. Go ahead, get an espresso machine. Get something entry level, like the Brevo infuser. You know, it's perfectly fine. I've used it for years, and the difference will be drastic, okay? It'll be pretty big on flavor alone, but it'll be drastic as far as the feel of it, the mouth feel of it. Just, you just have to try it. If you have both and you've gone back and forth between both, then you know what I'm talking about. So, but again, it was very balanced. The coffee that we got out of the Moka Pot was very balanced, nice sweetness to it, and very drinkable just to have just the coffee. It was perfectly fine. Okay, it was perfectly fine. I would rather have like a nice shot of espresso from it, but if I don't have that and I do have a Moka Pot, then that's perfectly fine. It's way better than the pour over. And this is with no sugar, okay? You guys saw there was no sugar in it. So if you've only tried like that traditional, like really dark roast that they use for the Cuban coffee, where you kind of balance it out with a bunch of sugar in there, you know, with something like this, you don't need to do that. because it was very balanced. They had some sweetness and it was perfect. You could just drink it like that, a lot better. And probably a lot better for you than a ton of sugar every day. So, all right, let's get into the unboxing. The box is right behind me. Let's see what's in it. Now, this will be a very short video if I open the box and it's like the wrong color or something went wrong and it's not what I ordered. So the labels say Lelit Bianca version 3 in white. So I think it's correct. Now, the small box, funny enough, I looked at the label. I don't think the right thing is in it. So, you know, we're not gonna talk about it today. I want you guys to guess below what you think is in the little box. But anyway, let me get right into it. Let's open up the Bianca and see what we got. All right, guys, so there you see it. There you see it. Our new Bianca in white version 3, the brand new one. The little box, so you guys could guess. Let's get into it. Let's open it up. Okay, guys, so I believe that they sent me an email saying to check out the box well to make sure there's no signs of damage or anything like that. But this box is in very good shape. It's pretty much immaculate. There's no signs of anything having gone wrong in this shipment. So once you cut the tape open on the top, okay, this is what we have. There's a box within a box. And one thing I do like, there's quite a bit of room here in between the two boxes. So you got kind of like, you know, in case there's an impact or something, it's not gonna hurt the machine at all. They put some nice cushions on the corners. You see, nice foam cushions to protect your you know, the interior box to getting damaged. I told you guys about how heavy this thing is. Definitely get somebody to help you carry this thing. They even put it on a little picture here to do it in between like two people. It is quite heavy. So again, guys, this is for me, this is like a in-game type of machine. I don't see any reason for anybody to need more than a Bianca to make excellent espresso. As a matter of fact, you can make excellent espresso in machines that nowhere near the level of this. Now, one thing I do want to try is making Slayer shots. Is something that I really look forward to learning, and it's one of the main reasons that I also went with this machine, because it does have the flow control, and that's needed for making Slayer shots. And that's what I'm gonna first try doing on this machine, is just making Slayer shots and get my technique down as to Slayer shots. So let me get the other box open and take another peek. Okay, so now once you get the other box open, okay, so again, you got box within a box. You open this one, and this is what's on top. So, made for performance. All right, we'll see about that. It's kind of hard to get this out. This is kind of heavy. All right, I'm gonna have to put the camera down. Okay, so here we have it. Let's see what's inside the smaller box. All right. Now again, guys, I didn't watch like a lot of unboxing videos or anything like that on the Bianca to know like how everything comes. I think I saw one like quite a while back, so I didn't even remember. So I didn't know what to expect in here. So if I say that one of these things is the wrong thing or something, you guys let me know, comment below. But let's see what we have. This looks like just like some kind of cleaning towel. Oh yeah, it says microfiber cloth. So this is just like a cleaning towel that comes with it. We have the power cord. I guess it's detachable. I didn't even know that, but yeah, detachable. I know that this is the plumbing for the hosing for in case you're gonna plumb the machine in. Now the Bianca, you can plumb it in, and so they could always have constant water from the faucet or from some kind of water treatment kind of system you might have or something like that. But in other words, you don't need to use the built-in reservoir, the little tank that you have to fill. You don't have to use the tank. You can plumb it in and always have water on top. Okay, so like more like a professional type of system, you know, something you would see at a cafe or something like that, where they're always pulling shots and they're not gonna be filling up some kind of reservoir. So I think all of this stuff is for plumbing it in, but you know, you might have here like some little spare parts for something, I don't know. There's a couple little gaskets, it looks like. I'm not sure what this is, but Anyway, you do have a couple little things here, replacement little parts. There's a little, I think this is maybe instructions on plumbing it in, I think. I'll go through this later. Okay, what else we have? Okay, what is this? Scale inhibitor. Detergente. I guess that word is the same in Spanish and in Italian. Milk frother cleaner. Milk frother cleaner for milk and coffee residues. I don't know. I have a feeling this is for the steam one, to clean the steam one or something. I don't know. I'll look into that later. I'll let you guys know in a later video. Oh, okay. This you put on top of the, you know, the regular tray on the machine in case you have like a small little shot cup that you want it to be closer to the spout, and this will elevate it closer to the spout so that you don't have any spillage. Okay, we have some baskets. I think the Bianca comes with baskets from what's that famous brand? Wow. Well, right now it slipped my mind. Comment below if you remember. Maybe by the time I edit this, or maybe it says it here. Oh yeah, IMS. Okay, it does say it. Lelit by IMS. So made in Italy. So yeah, these are IMS filters. They're, you know, pretty high end. Now I know that there's tons of filters out there, but you know, a couple years back, this was like, you know, probably the best in the market. But now there's so many kinds of people doing specialty filters. And it looks like they're, oh, this is the blind one. So this is the blind one. There's no holes in this one. So this one is to do a back flush on the machine and clean it out. So maybe that detergent you can use for the back flush. I don't know. I think for back flushing it, you use the same tablets like you would use on any other espresso machine. So I don't think that this is for that. But, okay. More IMS little... All right. We have a tamper. Nice wooden handle. Wow, this is heavy. I didn't expect it to be this heavy. This weighs a ton. Okay, nice tamper. Can't wait to try it. So we have a tamper. There's nothing else in here. All right, what is this? Water softener filter. It purifies 70 liters. Okay, so the little filter on a Breville machine is a tiny little thing that with carbon in it. This thing is huge. I don't know how this goes, but we'll figure it out. And maybe I'll report back to you guys. Let me know if you guys want to know more about anything that you see here. Again, I answer every single person that leaves me messages. And, you know, join us here. You know, join us here. Subscribe to the channel. And we're building a little community of coffee enthusiasts. And we learn from each other. You know, I ask you guys questions, and you guys can ask me questions. And I answer every single one of you. Oh, this is detergent. Okay, so this is detergent for doing the back flush. The other one, I imagine, must be done for the steam one. Although I think you can use this one for both things. So, anyway. And this, okay, this is a steam one tip. This is a 4-hole steam one tip. So, I don't know if one is already installed in the machine. Maybe it comes with 2. You do get 2 portafilters. This I did know. I did know about this. But you get, again, you get the bottomless, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be using a whole bunch, because you guys know I don't like a mess. And again, the whole point is for you not to have any channeling. But again, a lot of times, man, one thing is what you're planning on doing, and one thing is what really happens. Okay. This is a little brush. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it out of here, but it's just a little brush that you use to clean the shower screen. That's why it's angled like this, so you can get in there and clean the shower screen of the machine every now and then. You can scrub it with this. It's a little scoop. I doubt it is for coffee, so I don't think it's a coffee scoop, but I don't know what the scoop is supposed to be for. Let's see this. Oh, this is more cleaning powder. So they send you 3 of these pouches. But again, I think you can just put one of the tablets in the blind in the blind portafilter in this thing, and just put a tablet there, and it'll dissolve and do the same thing as the powder. And then you have the spouted. You have the spouted portafilter. The spouted portafilter right here. It's a nice design. I really love the way that the portafilters look. I like, and well, obviously I had never felt the weight of this thing, but this is very well made. This is very high-end stuff. Again, there's no reason to like really get into, this is an end game espresso machine for almost anyone out there, any coffee enthusiast. All right, so now that we got that box out of the way, let's see what's next. Okay, here you see what's under that. We have more foam protection. Wow, this is a big book. It's a big book that comes with it, instructions. This is probably like a getting started quick kind of guide to get started fast. So again, I'm gonna go through all of this stuff, make sure I do things right. If you guys want to know more specifics on something, I'll make sure to answer you guys. All right, it's the right one. It's a white Lelit Bianca version 3. So I cannot wait to start using this machine. Wow. Super nice. Let me see if somehow, well, if I don't get any more clips, at least I'll take pictures once I get this thing out of there. But yeah, I imagine so. I'll grab a few more clips. So let me see how I open this up, and then I'll keep talking to you guys. All right, so my idea to get this thing opened up was just to cut out the front part of it. So now I could get to this box real easy. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with this box. I'm gonna cut the front of it and drop it down, so then it'll just be the machine in there. And I think that's gonna be a lot easier to get it out of the box. Again, I don't have anybody here to help me right now do this. So I'm just gonna wing it. And again, you get the same cushions on the bottom. So this is very well protected. And again, UPS did an excellent job of getting this here, because the box is completely undamaged, and they did a really good job, I gotta say. So let me get this one opened up the same method I'm gonna use, like this, and then I'll just have the machine there, and maybe I can handle it by myself. We'll see. Okay, so check it out, guys. I cut it the same way I did the other one, so you can drop this panel down, right? And then inside you have another panel of protection, another level, and then there it is. There it is. We're getting to it. Now I think I can grab it and get it out of there myself. So if I'm able to do that, maybe I'll put it up on the counter and show you guys a little bit more. If not, I don't think there's anything there. That's just kind of protecting the group head, make sure it doesn't, well, there's a lot of protection, very well boxed in. And yeah, I'm really happy with the delivery. I think they did an excellent job. Let me see if I can get it out of there and show you guys another little clip. All right, so I got the machine on there on the counter. Now, you know what? First impressions, okay? Well, obviously, it looks outstanding. It looks beautiful. I love it. But, you know, I thought it was going to take up more room. And I took measurements and everything, you know, just to make sure it was going to fit. But I already knew it fit. But the thing is that if I put the tank in the back, I can still push it back even more. But right now, it fits there perfect. I don't even see the reason of pushing it back more. If I put the tank on the sides, it'll also work. So I'm going to ask you guys for a little bit of help. I've never asked you guys for help, but I would really, just because of the way it looks very symmetrical, I don't want to have just a tank on one side, or, you know, I like it just like this to keep it symmetrical. But now here's the thing, how I'm going to fill the water? There's like no room for me to get in here and do anything. I don't know. If you guys have an idea, let me know. But another thing was that I was a little bit worried if my cup warmer, if I was gonna be able to use it, because I knew it was gonna be kind of close. And as you could see, it is kind of close, but there is room. As a matter of fact, I could have a little bit bigger cups and still make them fit. You gotta be careful, because you know, you can, you know, bang them up, but it fits just fine. Another thing that I didn't see anybody cover. Oh, by the way, to get it up here, it's doable. I mean, I did it by myself and it's doable, but I don't recommend it. I do have to say, I don't recommend it. I took there was a plastic here holding the drip tray, holding this down, and I took the plastic off and removed the drip tray. That's the first thing I did. So every bit of weight I could remove, I removed it. So I took this off. I didn't want anything to happen to it as I try to get it up here. And then the tank, I was gonna remove the tank also, but I didn't do it because it's already comes from factory. It comes tight and everything. It looks like it's already installed. Now, one thing so I didn't want to take it off. So I just left it and lifted it with the tank on there. So I did remove the drip tray though. As you guys could see, there's a little foam here. I haven't removed them yet, but oh, okay, it goes around the steam one like this. So you can get these off. Oh, another thing I like about the Bianca is that these things, obviously they get hot, but not hot to the point that the milk will stick. I'm gonna have to cut that off or something. But the milk won't stick to these things. So they're cool touch. You can still move them and, you know, they won't burn you. So, you know, as a plus, the milk doesn't stick to it. You could just wipe it easy. You don't have to, you know, like with the Bravo, you have to use a wet napkin or something to kind of, the milk always tends to stick to the steam one. So it's a little bit harder to remove. All right, and now one thing I forgot was to plug in the power cord. So I'm gonna have to move it around again so I can plug in the power cord. But this is it, guys. This is the new setup. What do you guys think? I think it's awesome. Oh, something else I didn't see, something that I did not see in any videos, and I kind of looked, you know, I did look at a couple of unboxings, and I looked, obviously I watch a few people that have the Bianca, but they never talk about this, is that, like, I wondered what if there was like, you know, what's under the feet. Okay, I know on the niche there's like some little plastic pieces, and here you also have like little rubber to kind of protect your whatever, you know, surface you put your machine on. So don't be afraid that this is not gonna scratch your counter or anything like that. It is very well protected. It has some little feet. I don't know if you could see them there, but you could see it's not going all the way to the surface of the counter. So that's good to know. And this is like extremely tight. I didn't expect this thing to be like this tight. So I'm wondering, I see there's nothing inside. Maybe this is just the way it always is. I don't know. It's first 58 millimeter machine that I have. First machine that I ever mess with of this kind of quality. So some fun videos will be coming your way. Let's see. You know, if you guys are still here and you watch this whole entire video, if you just saw the unboxing part, thank you anyway. Consider joining our little team here. And you know, we try to help each other. So right now I need you guys' help. How am I going to fill my water? If not, I think I'm going to put the tank on the side because at least it's closer to me. I mean, I don't know. I like it like this, but figuring out how I'm going to fill the water, it's a pain, and I don't want to have to move this thing around once I have it all set up. I mean, it's heavy. So I'm hoping to just be able to keep it like this. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can come up with something. If not, you guys tell me. But if there's something specific that you want me to touch on, something that you want me to, you know, go over, if you have any tips for me. I know that, you know, I thought that this came with some kind of something for you to test your water, because they want you to have a certain quality of water before you start filling the machine. As you guys know, this is a dual boiler, and the water sits in there for, you know, for forever pretty much. You know, so it will build scale. So I've been using you know, a treated water, filtered water on my Bravo infuser, and I've never had a problem with scale. So I imagine here I won't have any problems either, but you know, I want to play it as safe as possible. Anyway, I got to get this thing off of here, and the next video we'll see if we make some coffee on it. So thank you guys for watching. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you watch this whole entire thing, comment below. I know I can count on a couple of you guys that you usually watch my videos. Jesse, Carrie, Joan. You know, there's a few of you guys out there that enjoy this kind of content. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next week. And oh man, I can't wait to start using it. I'll see you guys.